Hello, my Arcturian loved ones, and welcome back to the Soulmate Journey Empath. This is going to be a very long overdue Arcturian transmission coming through for you. My Arcturian guides have been connecting with me very intensely for the past 2 days, and it's kind of strange because it kind of has come with the peak of the energy of this Pisces full moon that we have just experienced. And as you all know, because you work with your Arcturian soul family as guides, they have some of the funniest answers when you frame questions to them. A very interesting sense of humor among my Arcturians. But before I get into delivering oracle messages, which I know that you all love so much, I just wanted to get into the channeled message and let you know what was being brought to my attention and how this kind of wraps into some of the Arcturian content that I've been producing for quite some time now. So I'll start with what I've been producing for a little bit. I keep getting this message coming up for Arcturian energy. I feel that the resonant oracle decks are involving sacred geometry, and so I use the sacred geometry activations oracle, both the original and the one for relationships. And consistently for the past several months, almost going on a year, Arcturians have had this message of tantric journey. And many of you have been like, what? Why? How does this factor in to my individual life? That's really interesting. And I've gotten a lot of mixed feedback from my Arcturian starseeds about, what does this mean? And what's interesting is some of you may not actually be Arcturian starseeds, but you work with Arcturian guides and so are therefore drawn to these Arcturian messages. So it's been difficult trying to filter out whether that was more of like a collective message, an Arcturian message, really what the purpose of engaging on this tantric journey was really all about. And so I've been getting a lot of snark, like I said, coming in from the Arcturians since yesterday. And earlier today when I opened up, I said, what is the message? What am I going to be bringing through, for my Arcturian starseeds with this transmission? And I felt my Kundalini rise and tingle through my extremities. And they were like, that's what you're going to talk about. So it brought me back to this whole discussion of a tantric journey. And so I giggled. I'm very familiar with Kundalini energy, have worked with Kundalini yoga. I've also experienced a spontaneous Kundalini awakening as a divine feminine on a twin flame journey. So very, very aware with what Kundalini feels like. And when I connected with the Arcturian guides and was given this sensation of a Kundalini activation or Kundalini rising, and that is what I'm supposed to talk about. And I was like, are we really connecting for me to deliver a spiritual transmission about energy work in a sensual experience? And what the Arcturians said back was hysterically funny. They called me a pervert. And they said, no, pervert, it's for healing. And this is why I love working with Arcturians. Because I'm laughing now thinking about what it was that they told me. And I'm like, of course it's for healing. And the reason why you are being invited to experience a Kundalini awakening, if you have not at all, is to get in touch with this universal energy, with the Shakti energy, and to incorporate this into your own personal divine feminine, regardless of your sex or gender, because this is going to be the place, other than your heart chakra, where the healing energy comes from. Now, many of you Arcturians work with your hands in some way, shape, or form, whether you're a healer, an artist, a musician. There is definitely a lot of energy coming through you as a conduit, as a universal conduit. And the important part about experiencing this Kundalini awakening and going on a tantric journey would be, consider your healing abilities when you aren't working with your Kundalini. They're maybe operating at 40%. So while you may be a very, very powerful healer, while you have mastered modalities and may have a lot of experience and a lot of discipline in the modalities that you practice, in the expressions that you practice, in the way that you manipulate energy, you're not using all of your potential for it, is really the underlying message, which is why I was given that sense of the Kundalini awakening. I think of how much my ability to do energy work and to manifest things has really significantly improved since my Kundalini awakening, and since I have been working with controlling, with gaining discipline and control over the flow of energy between and through the energy centers in my physical body and in my energetic body beyond it. So that was the real take-home message that the Arcturians wanted to bring forward. And, because so many of you Arcturian starseeds, or those of you that work with Arcturian guides, really, really resonate with Eastern practices. These terms, I was told, are not going to be unfamiliar to you. You have definitely probably heard these terms before. You may have even looked into or read into a little bit of working with your Kundalini energy and with Shakti. However, you may not have thought about a tantric journey. And, I was told to discuss the tantric journey because this is how you discipline. This is how, with the Kundalini awakening, you are amplifying your personal energy. It's now, instead of potential, it's energy that can move. Okay, so if we think about the laws of physics, there's potential energy, but it's not doing anything. It's just static. Okay, so getting that energy in motion through the Kundalini awakening, we have so much powerful creative energy and empathic energy in our sacral chakra, in our seat of the divine feminine. And this is where Kundalini comes in. Kundalini energy feels like a coiled serpent that tingles up the back of your spine to your crown. And as it goes up your spine, you get a sensation like goose pimples and tingles that go down your arms and legs. And as you start working with this energy, and one of the ways that you have been guided, you can, really discipline your manipulation of energy, of this cosmic energy of Shakti through your body and through healing modalities, is to learn the discipline, to learn the self-control. So, and then what I was shown clairvoyantly is like a system of pipes, and that the way that this energy moves is like plasma or a liquid through pipes. You can seal it off so it's only contained in one area, or you can allow it to continue going through. But those were kind of the analogies that were shared with me. And so I have been instructed to put this on your radar and to get you thinking about ways in which you can tap into more of your soul's energy, more cosmic energy, and be able to be a highly disciplined and effective vessel for working with energies. All right, we're back for take 2 with no dogs and more blue. So again, I'm looking into Kundalini energy, and Okay. Thank you. So what I am being told specifically right now is because it is very important to protect your personal energy, that there are methods by which this energy can be activated by people that refer to themselves as gurus, and some are legitimate gurus, some are not. But that working with this energy, your Arcturian guides are saying do not activate using Shaktipat. Shaktipat is when someone else is said to touch you with divinity and activate this energy for you. And the reason why you're being told to avoid Shaktipat is because it can impede on your sense of energetic sovereignty. Okay? This can be a way by which people can take from your energy and feed off of your energy. And also believing that activation needs to take place outside of yourself is a very third dimensional way of thinking, they're saying. We all have this potential. You know, we all have different gifts. Some of them have kind of a different frequency based on our galactic origin, but we have all of these gifts inside of us. And as we ascend, they are unlocked. And so you are being guided to either look into other means besides Shaktipat of activating this energy, or by allowing it to happen, which is the other way in which working with this energy is facilitated, which is radical allowance, which is preparing the body for it, preparing the mind for it, cleansing to allow rather than deliberately activating. Okay, so thank you. So those were the messages about Kundalini and this tantric journey from the Arcturians. Let's get into the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle and see what activations the Arcturians are coming in with. You know, I'm feeling so much Arcturian energy. And another thing that I wanted to discuss with you is, you know, Arcturus is one of those constellations that'll disappear for part of the year, and it's going to figure into our night sky for longer and in the season that we're going into here in the northern hemisphere. So you know, what's really interesting is I feel in terms of my own starseed markings that I'm getting a lot of downloads from my galactic family when I can, starbathe and actually have a visual connection to those constellations. But then when they disappear for part of the year and are beyond the view because they're overhead in daylight, I find that that's when I'm really integrating a lot of what's coming through from my galactic family, really grounding it into the 3D. And so I would be curious to see in the comments if that is true for you too, my lovely Arcturian starseeds. All right, let's go ahead and see what activations are coming through for my Arcturians. Wow, this is the bottom of the deck energy. I love it. This is freedom. This is specifically divine feminine freedom. So this is like liberating that energy. That is Kundalini awakening. That is allowing yourself to connect to this Shakti energy. That is absolutely beautiful. And it says the energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. So again, getting in touch with your own personal sense of divine feminine, especially empowerment of the sacral chakra happening for my Arcturian star seeds. Absolutely beautiful. And that is a general message coming through for all of us here, with it being the overall energy on the bottom of the deck. Now, let's get some more specific messages, please, for my Arcturians. What do my Arcturian star seeds need to know, please? They're like, nope, that's it. That's it. Oh my gosh, I love this. We have the energy of soul. This is number 37. 37 adding to 10 in numerology. This is a completion and a beginning. And this is just absolutely beautiful. Coming in with this freedom and divine feminine energy. The frequency of soul activates our connection to the part of us that is closer to the higher realms, God, or the divine. Again, Kundalini awakening and Shakti energy coming through very, very strongly here. And on the chance that you are not familiar with those concepts, feel free to investigate and to look them up. They both come from, well, they're Shaktism, and more intimately, those concepts are related through Hinduism. And so I encourage each of you to look more into how you can be a vessel for this energy and work with it and activate a little bit more of your own healing energy and healing potential. And these next activations are going to be specifically for the interpersonal relationships in your life. Arcturians. What do my Arcturians need to know? And one more. Passion. I love this. Number 34, 3 and 4, adding to 7 in numerology, which is all about persistence. Passion, again, lots of sacral chakra energy coming through here. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies a hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Wow, there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that message. So this is really getting in touch with your motives in a situation and finding out what you can learn from allowing yourself to experience things very fully. And that goes back definitely to a Kundalini awakening and Shakti energy. Once you are working with this Shakti energy, you are more activated than you were previously, and thus able to gain more from the experiences that you're having in this earth school, in this incarnation as an earther soul. So let's see what activations are going to come through in relationships. Wow. I'm seeing a pattern emerging here. Yep. Okay. Wow. So again, on the bottom of the deck, we have the energy of allowance. This, to me, I'm being directed back to that channeled message about, if you want to work with this energy, do not experience activation through Shaktipat. The allowance method is going to be the choice that you want to make to be able to work with this energy, so that someone else is not able to energy vampire off of you. So we have the divine masculine energy coming through here. And the frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. What your guides are telling me right now, what is coming through from the Arcturians, is that you are already very masterful with this divine masculine energy. That collectively, Arcturian starseeds are very, very good with that energy. Integrating more of the feminine energy is what you are actively working on right now. And this is very difficult because Arcturians are great healers, but Arcturians struggle to feel at home in their own bodies. And this is because you make such natural conduits for healing energy. But there's like a part of you that is not present in your body for sensual experiences. Like you never really lose yourself passionately in the flavor of a food, or something. You don't allow yourself to. So part of working with this energy is, rather than being very directive and not receptive to things coming to you, you're allowing yourself to open more and be better at receiving things. And I love this card. This activation has come through for me so many times from the Arcturians, and I love it. It kind of reminds me of the album artwork for the band Journey's album Revolution. But this is number 38, 8 and 3, adding to 11, master number of divine guidance, remembrance. And the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. So allowance, flow. There is DNA activation going on here with this remembrance. There is significant DNA activation happening. And this is going to help you get a little bit more perspective and be able to express yourself a little bit easier, and be a little bit more sensual and emotionally receptive, my Arcturians. And this is where it all makes sense to me, is this next card, Merkaba. This Kundalini activation and working with the Shakti energy is ultimately to get you to consciously program your Merkaba. And if you don't know what Merkaba is, it is a tetrahedron that spins like a dynamo. The top spins one direction, the bottom spins another. And if you get it spinning fast enough, you can get them to appear as they're going one direction. It's your astral chariot. Other star seeds that work very heavily with the Merkaba are Pleiadians. A lot of visual manifestations of Pleiadians into the 4-5D realm, you see them surrounded in a bubble of light. That is their Merkaba. And Arcturians work with Merkaba as well. But in order to get your Merkaba programmed consciously and activated, you have to be in union in your own personal sense of both divine feminine and divine masculine energies. Okay, so this is balancing your ability to manifest your will with your ability to receive and create. Okay, so a big transition coming in for you, Arcturians, because while you are used to not being as present and, as allowing in your own physical body, in your own energy centers, there is going to have to be this allowance. And ultimately, these things are happening and you are building your skill set. This is what's coming in. But experiencing the Kundalini awakening and channeling the Shakti energy are steps that need to happen so that your divine feminine is fully integrated before you can be consciously working with your Merkaba. And Merkaba says the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to the Akashic inheritance as well. What do we have here? Remembrance, soul, all right? See, there is like this purpose. This is like, and it's very Arcturian because it's like a step-by-step instruction book. And, they wanted me to convey to you that like the end game with this, the end game with all of these steps is to level you up and really come into your potential. And I had talked before we ever even got into these messages earlier in the reading about how we all have these gifts and abilities. We just simply have to ascend and unlock them. Yeah, the Arcturians are coming through to say, here's how you do it. Here you go. We believe in you. We're so excited. Now, don't be a pervert. No. I'm sorry, that just is still making me laugh. So once you experience these upgrades and are consciously activating your Merkaba, your ability to access your own soul record is going to be very, very astonishing to you. And it's going to be beautiful what you were able to glean from your own soul's experiences. This is also going to be great and help you have a more fluid connection with your Arcturian soul family and guides. So let's see, using the numerology guidance oracle, how is this going to look in 3D? Like, we got all the big picture here. We got all these activations. Now let's see how this is going to look when we scale it down just a little bit. And one more. What have we got here? I love this. Arcturians on the bottom of the deck. Just to match that allowance. It's a surrendering. So there's a lot of allowance. And really what I get from that is this energy is coming, whether you're ready for it or not. And it's really coming to activate and awaken you even further. So let's see, what is this going to look like other than surrender? What is this going to look like for my Arcturians? Wow. And we had 2 messages come out. We had rebirth and intuition. So yes, this is a new cycle with all of those 10s that we had in the numerology here. And this is going to be a leveling up for you. Intuitively, you know it. And what I love about this is here's that Arcturian blue. But look at all this orange sacral chakra energy. Intuition. This is going, our sacral chakra is an intuitive center, as well as the third eye chakra. And if we're just relying on our third eye, we're missing out on so much of our potential energy that we can use for healing, for transmutation, and in our individual missions as star seeds. So, intuitively, number 22, master number here. You know that you're coming into union with yourself. So that's absolutely beautiful. And what I love is the bottom of the deck energy is 44, environment. And what I'm hearing right now, what I'm hearing them say is that you need these energetic upgrades, these DNA activations to happen for you, and you need to be consciously learning how to work with these energetic centers, because your next activation is going to be a huge heart chakra activation, and the environment, like the vessel for it energetically has to be just right for you to receive that heart chakra activation that will be coming in. So that's a really interesting message, because normally I wouldn't read that card that way. So next, I want to clarify these messages with the Osho Zen Tarot, which is very, very Arcturian. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm excited to hear what you think about the messages. All right. How many shuffles? Two more. Two more. And if you haven't taken the opportunity to subscribe to my channel, I ask that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you click the little notification bell, you will get an update every time I upload new content. So look, at the bottom of the deck, we have letting go. Let go. Allowance. Surrender. Okay. Let it happen. They just said, let it happen. Let it happen. Oh my gosh. And under that, here, this is beautiful energy. If you look up Shakti, it will discuss the divine feminine with the lotus. And here it is right here. This is a flowering. This is a becoming. This is a moment in your ascension. And the invitation only requires that you allow this Arcturian energy to come in for you. What final messages do we have from the Arcturians for my Arcturian starseeds? Okay. Oh my gosh. Now look at the bottom of the deck. Receptivity. And there's the lotus again. And look at the light codes coming in. This activation's here. And look at it's a divine feminine figure. No coincidences, my loves. Let me get the messages that fell to the ground here. Oh my gosh. Whew. So here we have participation. This is an energy of balance, okay? This is an energy of balance. In traditional tarot, this would be Four of Wands energy. And what I can't help but notice is the orientation of the chakras that get activated with the Kundalini awakening. So this is a really beautiful message. This is about redeveloping your foundation and personal sense of stability. And I apologize for the barking puppies. Wow. Next we have the energy of integration. And again, balancing your individual divine masculine and divine feminine, bringing them into union, into balance with one another, so that you can really, really be working with your activated Merkaba energy. And the final message from your Arcturian soul family is sharing. And this is Queen of Wands type energy. This is having more soul force, more power to be able to share with others, to light the way, to provide cleansing, balancing, healing, and integration for those that you are working with, whether that is in your career, in your interpersonal relationships, your family relationships, or your intimate partnerships. So the puppies are like, yeah, we totally agree with the Arcturians. I apologize for all the quirks in this video, but if anybody would understand it, my Arcturians would. And you know, because you feel the very unique signature of this Arcturian energy, that it's always hard to not laugh. It's hard to be super serious when you're connecting with Arcturian energy. So the final messages that I wanted to share with you as trigger images are actually from this artist, Alex Gray, and I have these prints called the Sacred Mirror. I was very, very drawn to incorporate them in my readings for you Arcturians, and they are illustrations that also have some messages on the back. So I was intuitively guided to these images. This is called the material world. Materia prima, beginning of the great work. Identity fused with lead in the alchemical flask of the body. Atoms form molecules, molecules form cells, cells form organs, organs form bodies. Our incarnation is miraculous, and it depends on billions of years of evolutionary and biochemical problem solving. Use the great good fortune of your birth to enter life as a path and realize your true nature. Energy, matter, space, and time, building blocks of empirical reality, deep-rooted fabric of the elements, blanketing our physical stratum of being, mother womb and tomb of temporality. Thou art a shadow theater cast by the spiritual sun. This is the next image, and it is called Psychic Energy System. Energetic cornerstone of heightening awareness, shifting into visionary perception, subtle force pervading and emanating from the incandescent X-rayed physiology. Chakras whirl with the intonations of Sanskrit mantra, glowing, ascending vertically inside the central shaft, sprouting to a Kabbalistic tree surrounding the atom Kadmon, the universal human. Prana laches with chi. Acupuncture meridians and points operate as rivers of radiance interfused with consciousness. Quivering oceans of light penetrate all levels of being, evoking bioluminescent electromagnetic fields and resonance with a higher spiritual template. And the reflection with this image is multi-dimensionality. Here is the next image, Universal Mind Lattice. The sages say that spirit is a circle whose circumference is boundless and whose center is everywhere. The source of our radiant core being beyond time, birthless, deathless, shining toroidal sphere of soul. Thou art always in a love energy circuit, interreflecting, interlacing, connecting with every other being and thing in the cosmos. All our cells in the body of God, each individual part of the all, that is all of the all. Interconnectedness. In my parting message, spiritual energy system. Melting our identity into a fountain of light, extending into our surroundings, transforms the mirrored perceiver into sprouting jets of psychogism. This is human archetype, and it is still a vessel of transition into the elevated order. I hope that these messages resonated with you, my Arcturian starseeds. And as always, I am sending you so much healing, love, and light. Bye-bye.